Here we are, Fleming Island. Battle on the Island. Green Bracket Championship today with Discovery High School from Lake Alfred, Florida, and Mandarin High School from here in Duval County. What do you got, Coach? What are you thinking?
I tell you what, it's going to be an interesting game. Don't know a whole lot about Discovery, but based on their record at 9-2, it seems like they're pretty qualified to get out there and give us a good show for the championship game. Looking at some of the bodies out there, and they seem to be pretty set kind of everywhere. Got some big guys, got some guards, long players out there as well, which is the opposite on the other end where Mandarin kind of comes in undersized.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. And you look at Mandarin, how they got here, a little bit different than Discovery. Mandarin won Thursday night. They had a tough game Thursday night. Turn around Friday night, play another game down to the wire, beating Brantford to get here to the championship. Discovery had even weirder dynamic because they actually lost their first game against Nice High School the other night, but Nice was just filling in for a team that didn't make it, so Discovery was able to stay in the winner's bracket where they beat Middleburg to make it here to the championship game against Mandarin.
Okay, so they played, but it kind of had a bye almost.
Exactly right.
Gotcha. So championship game, though. Prime time.
2025 Battle on the Island. This is the Green Division Championship game between the Discovery Spartans and the Mandarin Mustangs. Starting tonight for Discovery, we have the number 2, Terrell Berry. Number 3, Amari Vega. Number 4, Jacoby Torres. Number 5, Derek Downey. Number 10, Jakai Ford. The Spartans are coached by Wheeland Vogel. And now for the Mandarin Mustangs, starting number 0, Enzo Lee. Number 1, Mason Roseberg. Number 2, Keon Harry. Number 13, Jared Michael. Number 15, Gian White. The Mustangs are coached by George McClellan.
Just heard the start lineups there for both teams. Something you don't see every day. With another fun fact about Discovery, they shoot about 5 threes total per game, which is unheard of in the high school world. 5 threes a game is what they average shooting threes. On Mandarin, on the other hand, you have Enzo Lee here who'll probably shoot 5 per quarter.
I'm telling you what, last time we had Mandarin, Enzo didn't start for some reason, not sure. But I tell you what, as soon as he got in the game, he definitely started lighting it up.
Right. So Discovery's game plan is get to the rim. Everything is to the rim for Discovery.
Well, the kind of players they have, I see they're long and lanky and, just kind of stretched kind of ball players. So it kind of makes sense that they would be downhill, kind of maneuver to get to the basket and finish in there. They seem to be very athletic as well, but time will tell.
I expect this to get up and down. Not a lot of size out there. You got basically 10 guards on the floor.
Pretty much. Yeah, even the big guy for Discovery is on the bench.
Yeah.
All right, Mandarin controls the tap.
Discovery in a man-to-man. Quick whistle.
All right, we got a fan with a flashlight going. Yeah. I think they're recording with the light on.
Yeah.
All right, last time we had Mandarin, I tell you, I guess some of the players wasn't there. They've added some players. I had to check back with Max Preps to get my names together. All right, first shot up. No good. Discovery with the rebound. Puts it up forward.
That's what they love to do. They love to get out and go.
All right, ball knocked out by Keon Herring. Saved the easy layup there.
Yeah, I was talking to Coach McLeod a week or so ago, and he was talking about their football. They have about 5 football kids the football team went deep into the playoffs, so it took a while for them to get those guys back.
Definitely. All right, quick pass to Jacoby Torrance for 2. All right, once again, Mandarin looks to run their offense. Kind of a George McLeod staple. Going downhill, number 2, nothing there. Offensive rebound. 13, Jaron Michael. I'm sorry, 15. Once again, quickly, Discovery's back on the other end.
That's what they were doing the other night against Nice. They were just getting the ball up the court, getting easy basket, getting layup after layup. Second half, Nice made an adjustment, put a little pressure on them in the half court, run that shot clock a little bit, slowed the game down.
And that's when Discovery lost?
Yep.
All right, number 4. Jacoby Torrance has all of their points right now.
Like I said, that's one of their 5 threes they'll shoot a game as a team. That's wild.
I tell you what, it seems like they definitely want to be out in the fast break area. All right, Zero pulls up for the short jump shot and it rolls in. Enzo Lee gets us going. And like I say, that's one of many that you'll see from Enzo. All right, downhill again, Discovery, no good. Fight for the rebound. Someone. Yeah, number 1, Enzo Lee. Got hit in the head there pretty hard.
Somebody's bleeding.
Enzo Lee's over here.
Enzo's on the court still.
I'm sorry, Roseboro. Roseboro.
Yeah. It looked like Roseboro took a shot to the mouth there.
Yeah, when the 2 guys were fighting for the rebound, he kind of got into the scrum and he caught an elbow or shoulder or something.
Got a timeout here for.
Yeah, it's gonna be blood on the floor.
Yeah, we got blood on the floor and a player over here bleeding and waiting on a trainer.
He's getting over there.
Right now, LaTroy, we're at 5-4. It took us a whole quarter to get to that last night in the Reebok game.
Definitely much different from last night. And I tell you what, I think it was going to be a high-scoring game here because I really see the Discovery is trying to get to the basket as quickly as possible, as soon as possible.
Right.
And we already know what Mandarin does. All right, so they get the young man taken care of, but I hadn't seen nobody on the court yet, which is what the game is slowed down by.
Not sure that we get a timeout here. I don't know what we're waiting on.
Still, I think it's the blood that's on the court over there.
Okay.
Yeah, the trainer, like she's supposed to, she went over to the player.
Right.
But now we got to figure out a way to get the court cleaned up.
We know we need Coach Showers.
I tell you what, he'd take a whole quarter to get the blood up.
Search or follow Hey Picture Man 904. Or go to HeyPictureMan904.com for photographs from the games. You can find them there. You can purchase them there from him. We appreciate his help this weekend in getting some great images up of the tournament.
We have a Fleming Island rep here getting the floor cleaned up, and then we'll get the game back started.
Definitely. So he's got to take care of that baseline down there. No, do we take a moment to talk about my Miami Hurricanes a little bit?
Oh man, I tell you what. Do we have an update on the Ole Miss game? I know coming in didn't look pretty for Tulane.
I did not, but we'll check that.
Yeah.
We'll give some updates on that part there. I tell you what, though, the Hurricane game was a defensive battle. 2 powerhouse teams out there.
I tell you, yeah, it took nobody could score. Nobody could score, and then everybody wanted to score.
Right.
The last minute of the game. 23-3 Ole Miss is our update from the college football playoffs.
Well, you know what? I'd hate to see a team get beat like that, but it does fold well for them moving to a 16-team bracket for next year. I think that's going to be very good. you have no complaints at that point in time. Your Notre Dame gets in. You still get your lower level like your Tulane and James Madison still get in.
Yeah.
And you see where it goes from there. All right. I think we're about ready to get started again. All right. Discovery tries to inbound, but knocked out of bounds by Mandarin.
Both teams sticking to man-to-man in your face.
Yeah, I doubt we'll see anything different outside of your pressure. All right, good block. Still going to finish. Fight for the rebound and stays here with Discovery.
I'm not sure how tall he is, but he plays like he's about 6'8".
I'm telling you, yeah, number 15, Tion White.
Who is their leading scorer.
Really?
Yeah, he's their leading scorer, followed by Enzo Lee.
I was just about to say, it's interesting with a player like Enzo Lee for somebody else to be the leading scorer is pretty interesting.
Yeah. I think Enzo led the team in scoring until Weiss came back. I'm pretty sure he's a football player.
Well, I tell you what we saw White score earlier was off the offensive rebound.
Right.
I tell you, you got a guy like Enzo, and then as long as he stays on the offensive glass, he can get those putbacks.
Right. Early shot clock violation.
Interesting, and I had this question for you as well. You know, North Florida is kind of moving into the shot clock era. Georgia's been doing it for a while, but the whole state hasn't really adopted.
Right.
So what do you think about the shot clock?
Man, I love it. Kids that are really going to go play on the next level, they need it. They need to play with it. It takes all the, holding the ball out of the game. I think it's a necessity. A lot of these schools don't have it yet here in Northeast Florida.
Like turnover, Mandarin.
Everybody's moving to it.
All right, number 2, Discovery. Terrell Berry. All right, timeout, Mandarin. Coach McLeod sees something that he doesn't like. And we talk about the shot clock. Yes, I cut my teeth on the college level, so I've been doing shot clock for a long time. And my whole high school coaching career, I coached fast.
Right.
Because my mind state was still kind of on the shot clock, which, was not a bad thing because the shot clock was coming.
Right. No, I agree fully. And these kids, and a lot of, and it's funny because you can play a game one night with a shot clock. The next night, if you're playing somewhere in Northeast Florida, you don't have a shot clock. It's kind of hard because there's different rules, like the 5-second count. You don't have a 5-second count when you're playing with a shot clock. Next night, you might be dribbling. You call for a 5-second count. So I'm looking forward to when everybody has it and playing on the equal playing field.
Absolutely. That gets you to the point where now you see some consistency on the court because of the shot clock.
Right.
All right, Mandarin inbounds ball. 13, Michael. Number 2, Herring once again goes downhill and loses control of the ball. Uncharacteristic type situation here for our Mandarin team. They normally are out there running that offense they have, that read and react, as coach calls it. All right, Discovery comes down. Long 3-point shot, no good.
Rebound Lee.
Coach, they're not fitting your normal stat book. I mean, they're throwing up a bunch of threes today.
Yeah, it's wild. The other night when they played Nice, they shot probably their 5 in the first quarter, and then they didn't shoot another one.
Gotcha. Discovery sitting back into like a sagging man.
Yeah, very.
They're sitting very deep.
A lot like we saw Gainesville last night against Reebok.
Right. Daring them to shoot the ball. All right, Enzo Lee looks to push. Ball goes to 2. Herring comes up top to White. White's off the front of the rim. Nothing doing. Discovery looks to get up the floor real quick. Ball goes to Torrance. He kicks it over to teammate, and nothing happening. Mandarin gets back. Got a long 3-point opportunity. Nothing taken. And we get a turnover. 3 seconds on Discovery.
Coach McLeod called that when he was in the ref's ear right next to him.
The whole time, yeah. And that's one situation where guys are moving down the court on the fast break. Ball keeps moving, and no one ever wants to take the shot.
Right.
Man, Discovery coach is saying, hey, man, shoot the ball.
Right, yeah. That's their game. Get out and go. And they had 2-on-1, and no one wanted it.
But tell you what, Tion White was in there, and I think from that block he had earlier, it's still intimidating a little bit.
Yeah, it made him think about it, no doubt.
All right, we got a grab on Discoveries. Torrance Berry. All right, first team foul of the quarter. All right, we still got Roseboro on the side. It's still being tended to by the trainer. All right, Enzo Lee, you know he's going to line it up. Take a three, no good, over the backboard. Discovery ball out of bounds.
We got Mandarin players griping at each other right now. That's not what you want to see.
No, not at all.
Early in the first quarter.
All right, almost still. Discovery keeps the ball. That was number 3, Andy Charles, on the almost steal there.
Good block by Weiss again.
Listen, he's an intimidator in there.
I was going to say, I'm not sure how he was going to get away.
I was about to say.
With flipping and rolling from the half court to the three-point line.
He's sliding in the third over there. All right, turnover, Mandarin.
Talked about a fast start, but things have slowed down right now. 4-7 still. 3:30 left in the first.
Yeah, a few quick turnovers and some nice blocks by White. All right, number 3, Vega. Looks to set his team up. And you think about it, it's Jacoby Torrance that had those first 5 points.
Yeah.
I got a quick grab on Mandarin's Jerron Michael. All right, 20 seconds on the shot clock. All right, Vega up top. Looks to try to set something up for Discovery. All right, ask for the screen and roll up top. Vega probes, gets in, short jump shot, no good, front of the rim. Number 5 rebound. Continues rebound, strong. And he takes care of business. That's Downing.
Tell you what, he was not going to be denied that rebound.
Very athletic play. All right, Enzo, long 3, no good. Ball stays. All right, 14, Ramsey in the game. I don't think Coach McLeod was happy with those long three-pointers there.
Right.
All right, got another push there on Downing. You're right, Coach. This thing has definitely slowed down this last 2 minutes or so.
No doubt. Mandarin stuck on 4. They got those in the first minute.
All right, Mandarin probes. All right, 14 for the 3.
It's a good-looking shot.
Yes, it is.
Came off the bench firing. Coach McLeod yelling at his team to pack inside that three-point line.
All right, he's daring him to shoot 3. Jacoby goes in and throws up a wild one. Nothing doing. Mandarin's on the push. Looks to go forward. No good for White.
You know, the crazy thing about Discovery is you know that they're not a three-point shooting team. They like to get to the basket, and teams know it, but they're still doing it. They still getting to where they want to get.
I tell you what the difference, though, is with Ramsey inside. And I'm sorry, that Ramsey with White's inside, he does seem to have them thinking about where is he.
Right.
So for a downhill team, that's a little tough when you have to think about what's going on.
Right.
All right, Jacoby Torrance with the ball up top, and we got a grab.
Yeah, 22 just put a forearm into the guy's chest.
All right, Mandarin's Howard on the foul. No real foul trouble, though. 2 for both teams. All right, you got a corner look. No goon. He looks to go to the basket once again, all downhill.
You go through 5 people.
There it is. Terrell Berry for 2. They miss Whites again on the fast break. All right, 16 seconds on the shot clock.
Discovery just playing good, solid man-to-man defense.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
you what, that was a good drive.
It's a nice move by Howard, and he's a left-handed player, and the Discovery guy just let him get to a strong hand. Once again, downhill, Vega, count it.
It's layup after layup for them.
All right, Ramsey looks to go in, head down, straight forward, charge. All right, we got subs getting ready to come in the game. Coach McLeod going deep into the bench tonight. Number 23, Ling, is in for Mandarin. Still no signs of a Roseboro. He has left.
I just saw him walk off with an ice bag. He might.
Right.
I think he might get be having to get a couple stitches here the way it was looking.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Once again, this pass up the jump shot to go downhill.
Coach has to be frustrated that the defender jumped for a 3 to try to block a 3 on the shot fake.
Right. Gave him what he wanted all the way downtown. All right. Once again, Howard puts up a 3. Nothing happening. Discovery on the push. Barry to Vega. Decides they're going to wait this one out. Take one shot. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Vega throws up a long one.
Yeah, that's not what Coach wanted at all.
Right. He's very emotional about that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, that definitely took 13 seconds to throw up a 47-foot jump shot.
Yeah, that was not what you want at the end of the quarter right there. Sunshine State Broadcasting 15-9 in favor of Discovery. Will be back for the second quarter.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
All right, here we go. Second quarter is about to begin with Mandarin down 6 here. Quick start for Mandarin, quick 4 points, but kind of fell flat there in the end of the first quarter.
And to tell you what, it seems like there's one of those games where you look up at the end of each quarter and you don't see any difference, but the score is always ahead for that one team. So
right.
Coach McLeod has to figure it out and get it taken care of. If not, Discovery can mess around and win every quarter, and guess what? They get you a win altogether.
Yeah.
All right, turnover. Vega's in the right place at the right time. Looks to push the ball.
Best.
That's it. Downhill all the way. Nothing happening. Rebound. Whites. Mandarin has the numbers. About to say, no call.
I thought he was going to let that go for a second.
All right, the big fella for Discovery, Elijah Acree. Gets the foul for the Mandarins. Herring goes to the free throw line to shoot 2. And he's good. Best case scenario for Coach McLeod there. His team is aggressive going downhill, gets fouled, goes to the free throw line, gets some easy buckets. All right, and Herring finishes off the play. He gets 2 quick ones from the free throw line. All right, once again, Vega down here, free throw line. Pulls up, no good. Rebound, Acre gets it in. Double tap for 2.
A lot of contact right there on that first penetration.
Definitely a lot of contact. It could have gone either way, too, offense or defense, but they let them play. And once again, going downhill, nothing going. Almost stolen by Vega. Mandarin sub. Ramsey comes back. Comes in for Ling. All right, Jerron Michael also returns to the game. Takes out Monk. All right, ball goes up top to Enzo Lee. I'm about to say, I can almost guarantee he won't shoot this one.
Right.
All right, ball quickly to White at the free throw line. Nice left-handed finish. Here we go. Barry to the basket. No finish, but Acre on the offensive rebound. They keep coming at you, too.
They say we're just going to take turns.
That's it. I had nothing doing for Discovery. Rebound. White. Ramsey goes to the basket, throws up, nothing.
3 guys, and they can't get a rebound and bucket.
All right, once again, Discovery just goes to the basket. Barry for 2.
I haven't seen basketball like this. The other night it blew my mind.
You know what? This is definitely different. I have not seen this either. I mean, no matter how many defenders are back, they're going.
Right.
All right, Enzo Lee up top. Calls out for White for the high pick and roll. Has him in there, stolen by Vega. They look to push. Vega had people in front of him, didn't give it to him until the last minute, but he scores anyway.
Great pass.
Number 12, Kyrie Williams with the finish.
Yeah, you think it's an easy scout, right? Everything's to the basket, but
they don't stop. They just keep coming. I mean, it's nonstop. All right, Enzo Lee throws up a 3 and gets fouled by Kyrie Williams.
He's lucky he got fouled there because coach would have had him quick.
Definitely. When he rose up, I looked at the coach to see what his expression was, and I heard the whistle. Was like, okay, he'll live to fight another day.
Right.
All right, Enzo Lee to the free throw line, shooting 3. Count it. One thing we do know is Coach McLeod's team normally shoots very good from the free throw line.
Right.
I jinxed him. It's all on me.
I saw that one was going to be short immediately.
All right, Discovery has subs in the game. Torrance comes back as well as Ford. Jakai Ford comes back. Vega gets a well-deserved rest because he's been running full speed for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, he has.
All right, there you go. Enzo Lee goes 2 for 3 from the free throw line. I almost believe it was one of those. He's like even a sub Enzo, and then he said change his mind, I guess. All right, here we go. Discovery comes down now.
So Mandarin's going to a zone right here.
All right, a 1-2-2.
1-2-2.
All right, Barry takes over at the point guard position, gets nudged.
And I tell you this, watching them the other night, Discovery coach does a great job with their zone offense here. I wouldn't be surprised if they find some holes here in this 1-2-2.
Gotcha.
Coach McLeod's going to this bench a lot.
Yes, he is. Herring comes out. He has 2 fouls. I'm sorry, just 1. Andy Charles back in the game. All right, it goes back to a 3-2 now. All right, Barry once again still going downhill. All right, Discovery ball. And Coach says the same thing again. Shoot the ball. No one has stopped him yet, right?
Yeah, and I mean, again, they're in his zone and did the same thing. He got to the rack. He shouldn't have passed it.
Yeah, White, once again, White.
Yeah, he made him think about it, right?
All right, no inbound play there. Ball goes out of bounds off Mandarin. Discovery goes again. Coach decides to put forward to trigger the ball in. All right, up top, Torrance. Make it Barry for the 3.
And the crazy thing is they can really shoot the 3.
They can do a little bit of everything, as we see. I tell you what, this sagging man seems to really be affecting this read and react offense that Mandarin runs. All right, almost stolen. Ball maintain control. Goes over to Whites, and Whites finishes. Good left-handed player. All right, ball already down the floor, and Barry. Whites
good hustle
changes that again.
Yeah, good hustle to get the block shot.
And, and Barry slowed down, because he was thinking about him. All right, subs coming in.
Might be why he's coming out right now. He's like, coach is like, look at him. Like, are you tired? Why did you do that?
Right, yeah. Seem to be breathing a little heavy. That's all right. Get a quick break. All right, Vega back in the game, as well as Howard. I'm sorry, Acree comes back in. All right, 25 seconds on the shot clock.
Mandarin's still in the zone. Let's see what Discovery has here. Ball entered to the corner.
All right, long pass. Wow. I thought it was a steal. Maybe not. Torrance inside, kicks it back out. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And guess what? Discovery really figured out the shot clock right there, and it was all the same stuff.
Yeah.
Vega gets 2 feet in the paint, finds the big man to finish. Acree look to go three-point play.
Good strong finish by Acree too.
And he plays very high. We talked about that before on that rebound that he got. I mean, he keeps the ball up.
Yeah.
With wide body, it's hard to get around him. All right, Ramsey gets his second foul, goes to the bench.
Like you said earlier, Mandarin's just Discovery's winning quarters, right? Keeping this lead at 9, 10.
All right, short.
And nobody tried to get the rebound.
Yeah, Mandarin just does not seem to be into the game right now. All right, they go to a different offense here, kind of set up their read and react out of a different format, a 1-4 high. All right, Enzo Lee looks to create a little bit, and he throws up a three, and it's good. That's the Enzo that we know. I know coach doesn't want him shooting, but good shooters keep shooting, and Enzo, referee not paying attention to that one. All right, Kyrie again on the finish.
Yeah, Enzo's one of the best shooters in the area. Sometimes you take the good with the bad. It's a number, it's a percentages.
Right, and
the more he shoots, the more he's going to make.
Correct, and I think what happened earlier was he started out shooting deep like that. And as a coach, you kind of say to yourself, hey, man, don't start out way out there. Kind of work your way out.
Right. 3:25 left here in the second quarter. Discovery up 8 on Mandarin.
Mandarin ball. Coach McLeod in the huddle, kind of drawing up something. That was always my debate, Coach. What do you think about the board? You a board user?
You know what? It's in certain situations, not a lot. Hopefully as a coach, I'm prepped. You try to prep everything, right? In practices, late game situations, and whatnot. If you see something in the game, like, hey, I think we can get something that we're not practicing, obviously sit down and draw something up.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer, man, that athletes are not good on change. So there was a lot of options that I had out of my plays that they were used to, and we would call those options. I really didn't need to draw up a whole lot.
Right.
All right, Mandarin up top. Andy Charles at the helm, point guard. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Ball back in Enzo Lee's hand. Kicks over side. Andy Charles again. They're trying to find Enzo. He's probing. He's coming, trying to get the basketball. 6 seconds on the shot clock. I hope they're aware of it. Enzo knows it now. Takes up a shot, gets bumped, no call. Offensive rebound.
Violation. I think Enzo may have gotten fouled right there.
All right, they're going shot. No, referees are going to confer. Discovery ball.
Discovery's one of those teams that they have an identity and they're not going to stray from it. They're just going to play. They're just going to do what they do, win or lose.
Absolutely. So, hey, you win by it, you lose by it. So that's their philosophy. Tell you what, this zone has definitely slowed them down a little bit.
I'm interested to see if Mandarin does some type of
all right, lines up a three, no good.
some type of full court pressure. That's what Nice did the other day to get back into the game and win.
Gotcha. Enzo Lee, once again, nice move, fade away, count it. All right, ball pushed up the floor real quick. Enzo gets a hand on it. Ball goes to Kyrie Williams for Discovery for a layup.
You blink, and they're right back at the rim.
Right back at you. It's Kyrie with a quick 6 points off the bench.
He's a deceptively good player. I was impressed with him the other night.
Yes. In the right place at the right time, and just does the solid things. Foundational guy. Enzo Lee in the corner. All right, 12 seconds on the shot clock. 10 seconds. All right, big man goes with left hand. No good. Whites with the offensive rebound. Big guy getting left hand again. He gets the nice roll.
White is also one of those guys that's just everywhere. Every possession, you think he's making something happen.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I mean, he just does all the intangibles. Is probably why he's the leading scorer. All right, we up top. Ball comes back to number 10. He looks to go to the basket. Howard with the foul.
Probably he's got a couple fouls, I think, on him.
Yeah, that's what we call the lazy defense.
Yeah.
Move your feet. Stop reaching around.
You know they're going to drive.
As well as Jakai Ford has not shown him that he's the three-point shooter either. He's taken 2 of them and has not made them.
Right.
All right. Discovery got great minutes out of Acre and also Williams.
Yeah, they did.
All right, ball up top to Barry. Comes back to Vega. Kicked over to Jakai Ford. Once again, 3-point shot no good. Mishandled by Mandarin. Ball comes over to Vega for 3. Nothing doing. Gets baseline pass.
A lot of contact happening out there.
Referees allowing a lot of stuff happening. All right, they look to reset things up. You got Vega up top against this 3-2 zone.
Still penetrate somehow.
Yep, turnover Vega. All right, Mandarin pushes hard, layup, miss. Got a nice tip by Enzo Lee. Enzo, what you call a scorer. He's just a bona fide scorer.
No doubt about it.
All right, 25 seconds on the game clock. No shot clock. Discovery with a 4-point lead, 30-26. All right, the ball goes over to Torrance, gets inside. And Barry is fouled. I'm sorry, that would be Torrance on the inside. All these dreads are getting me.
Let's see if Discovery can draw up a better play than they did at the end of the first quarter.
All right, worked out in Mandarin's favor. That call was fouled on the ground. Non-shooting. 11 seconds on the game clock. Goes back inside to Vega. Nothing doing. Almost turn it over. Jakai Ford goes to the basket. Nothing there as well. Discovery with the rebound. Hey, there's Downing with 2 points at the buzzer.
I think that's what Coach wanted to see at the end of the first quarter there, getting into the rack instead of 40-foot three.
Definitely, and got to be happy with that. Guys showing the energy. I tell you what, though, he's gonna have a long conversation with Vega because at the end, Vega continued to push inside and kept falling down because he's kind of out of control to a certain extent.
Yeah, he is. But that's the coach is probably used to. That's their game. Get to the hole, get to the hole, get to the hole, and it's working out. I mean, 32-26 right now. They have knocked down a couple threes. But overall, like you said, Mandarin just really couldn't get it going. Enzo found some buckets there. Luckily, Enzo and Weiss, no one else is really contributing.
Yeah, as the game went on, you could tell that Mandarin will start getting their feeding a little bit because Enzo was making shots. White does what he always does and hangs around the glass and finishes. And then you had Howard that came in, and he made a couple of shots around the free throw line area, which was big for Mandarin. And then that 3-2 zone they went to, I think, really stagnated Discovery's movements.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 32-26. We have Discovery up on Mandarin here at the Battle on the Island Green Championship game. We'll be back shortly.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida. First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
Here we go. 30 seconds, Coach. We got 30 seconds till the second half starts here. Discovery up 6 over Mandarin. It's been a early battle. Mandarin hasn't really been able to get over the hump to make this happen. But let's see what happens in the second half.
I tell you what, something I really enjoyed at halftime was watching the other two teams warm up. You know, they really seem to get out there and go after it like they're super, super serious. Got a chance to watch Jaleel Hill kind of do some stuff, as well as CC, Carson, Crawford. You know, they look really good during that little warm-up kind of, halftime deal for them.
Yeah.
So I think they're focused and locked in right now. So I'm expecting a pretty good championship game from that bracket.
We're lucky you have a nice referee here because Mandarin doesn't come out of the locker room before the buzzer goes off. And Discovery's ready to play. Mandarin's just walking in the gym.
Yeah, referees are pretty liberal, because, we sat there and watched Coach McLeod take about 4 minutes before he even went back into the locker room.
Yeah.
Players only meeting, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, well, here we go, though. Enzo Lee from Mandarin gets ready to inbound the ball. So I tell you, Roseboro still has not returned, and I do not see him on the bench. I think he's left the gym.
I think I saw his mom grab him and take him out. They probably had to go get stitched up.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, sorry to hear that from the young fella. All right, Enzo Lee lines it up.
I knew he was going to pull that. He was going to be open on that corner.
Definitely. All right, here we go. Discovery looks to do what they do best, go downhill.
Mandarin back in that 1-2-2 zone.
Smart move. That's what I would do. It really bothered him. And there it is. Steal. Mandarin.
It definitely slowed there in that second quarter.
All right, quick move to the basket. Nothing doing, but they get offensive rebound. Whites finishes left hand. Nothing there, but he's right back on top of it and misses the second try as well. But his hustle is always there.
He was trying to pad those rebound stats, but it didn't work out.
All right, we talked about that earlier. Vega seems to be a little out of control his last couple quarters.
Uncharacteristic because he's a very solid point guard.
Enzo Lee for 3.
You definitely can't leave Enzo open.
And that's worst case scenario for Discovery because Enzo he's a flow player. And if he comes out and knocks a couple threes down, I better watch out. All right, here we go. Number 2, Barry throws up a three-pointer. Goes over the backboard. No good. Ball goes back to Mandarin.
Coach is frustrated from Discovery. Gave up an easy 3 in the corner, didn't run an offense, and shot up a 3 on the offensive end. Not typical of what they do.
Right, and that did nothing right thus far. Gave up a couple offensive rebounds as well. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, right.
All right, Mandarin's into their read and react. Tip by Vega goes out of bounds. Mandarin ball, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
See if they recognize the shot clock right now. Again, you never know who plays with them and who doesn't.
They do. Enzo Lee, deep 3. And there he is. I told you, he's in the flow. Enzo Lee for 3.
Ties it up. Mandarin comes out firing in the second half.
It's always good as a coach to have a scorer because you know where your offense is coming from. All right, Discovery looks to go to the basket. This zone has really kind of stagnated them. They don't have the lanes they had before. Turnover. Andre Charles goes into Enzo Lee with the head fake. Nothing doing. I can't do that. Discovery ball. Good timeout, Coach.
Yeah, 30-second timeout for Discovery. Again, unlike their style of play, what they're doing right now.
Yeah, that 3-2, 1-2-2 zone or amoeba type situation has really affected them, pretty bad. And the fact that Mandarin they're scoring, which slows down things also. So Discovery has not even had the opportunity to get to a fast break situation.
Yeah, and Mandarin is scoring, not doing nothing special. They're just being left wide open.
Right. And like last night we watched with Gainesville, where our guy Pinter just went crazy.
Yeah.
You leave a shooter open, they're going to make shots. And Enzo Lee is definitely a shooter.
Think Pinter shot himself out last night, or what? He's got a tough one coming up tonight.
Man, I tell you what. We talked about that. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he shot himself out or Fleming Island takes onus on where he is.
Yeah,
and that's what I said. I think Bryce Robinson is going to be in his stuff all night long.
I agree. I totally agree.
All right, Discovery looks to try to figure things out here. Try to figure out this 3-2 zone where they're packing in the paint. The only thing they have is shots. Barry looks to go to the basket, tries to get it inside, nothing doing. Mandarin steals the ball. Whites pushes, goes into Enzo, layup no good. And we have Herring with the offensive rebound and put back. Here he goes again. Vega pushes the ball out to Barry. No three. Skip pass.
It's a tale of two teams right now watching Discovery, isn't it?
Yes, they're struggling. They really cannot figure out this zone or what to do with it. All right, call for a quick foul. You got 13, Jerron Michael.
SSB Jacks here at Fleming Island. Make sure you subscribe, like, share. Hop in the chat. Let us know where you want us.
Discovery's made their first adjustment to the zone. They've gone with the big guy, Elijah Acre, to come back to the game. I think that's going to help the big body.
Yeah.
All right, three-point shot up. No good. Hit the top.
Talked about that before. The last game, they didn't call that.
Correct. Yep. All right, we got subs in for Mandarin.
Mandarin's forcing Discovery to do what they don't like to do.
Making them uncomfortable. We talked to Coach Samwell from Jackson. He said that's his game plan all day long. Just make them uncomfortable. All right, Whites looks to push the ball to the floor. Nothing doing. Ball comes back up top. All right, stolen by Vega in the open court. Look, get a fast break situation. Head fake, nothing doing.
I was just going to say they have to make sure they finish this.
Yep. Offensive rebound, Jacoby Torrance with his push from behind.
Luckily, they got that rebound. Young fellas just got to attack and finish right there.
Yeah, just can't seem to be out of sorts. And that's what happens when you're second guessing yourself. You do things like miss layups. All right, Jacoby Lawrence to the free throw line, shooting 2. No good. Gets the roll. First one. Count it.
.447 left here in the third.
All right, Jacoby Torrance looks to tie the game up. And he does not. Front of the rim and ball controlled by Whites again.
White has about 15 rebounds, I feel like, right
At
now.
least. All right, ball not controlled by Mandarin. Discovery gets a steal. Barry looks to go to the basket. Nothing doing. Jumps in the air to pass.
Yeah, don't jump the pass. You got to know where you're going.
Hey, Vegas kind of slowing things down, but that's not been the game plan that they want. All right, Barry. Ford doesn't get the roll. Another rebound by Whites.
Enzo's going to pull right here.
You know it was. Enzo Lee for 3. Like we said, one of the top shooters in the area, and he's showing it tonight. Ball swung around by Discovery. It just out of kilter right there. They can't seem to figure out this zone. Ball goes inside. Jacoby blocked by Whites again. He's such a force down there.
It's going up.
Enzo Lee, look at the heat check. And guess what? He's on fire.
Big turnaround here in the second half.
Huge turnaround. All right, Vega for long 3. He matches that. Count the bucket.
They needed that bad. You would think they would make an adjustment on Enzo right now, right?
You would think, right? But you know what? He got a turnover here. We got a carry by the point guard, Andy Charles. You know what? But Enzo has kind of got those in a fast break type situation too. So, you have to be aware of them and be able to find them on the fast break.
Number 12 that just checked in the game for Discovery. I guarantee his assignment is Enzo.
Let's check that out. Kyrie Williams comes in. All right, Vega wants to try it again, and he does. So now Coach McLeod has to make a decision, which there is no decision. Right. In the 3-2 zone, the middle guy has to step up and play defense.
We got the matchup over here on Enzo.
You called it.
I knew he was going to do that. I saw him do it the other night against Nice. He went face-to-face with Cam and did a good job. He's a heck of a defensive player.
Tell you what, he has that defensive body, too.
Yeah, very deceptive. He's small, but he's strong. And, you get a kid like that just knows your role. It's different.
Yes. Foundational guys, I keep saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Enzo Lee with the ball again. He's probing. And once again, like I say, Kyrie Williams gets on him and makes it difficult for him.
Yeah.
So now Discovery gets into what they want. It's more of a fast break type situation. Jacoby Tarrant, nothing there. Vega inside. All right, ball goes over to Barry. Barry wants to get to the basket. Hard off the rim. Williams with the rebound. And now Ling pulls it up top. Look to push. Enzo Lee one-on-one. Pulls up 12 points. And it counted. Like I say, I love a shooter, but he's a scorer.
Yeah.
All right, they're still in the zone, but Coach McLeod is screaming at them to step it out a little bit. All right, Jacoby, short shot, nothing. All right, Williams falls down, and they're going to hit him with the timeout. Coach
30
Discovery.
Second timeout. Third quarter has been the Enzo Lee show. I don't know how many he has right now, Coach, but he's on fire.
Don't know how many he has. You're right, but Coach McLeod is very happy to see what Enzo is doing for him. And it's interesting. The teachable moments. Coach benched him early for some long range shots that he was taking, but at the same time, we know that's what he does.
Right. No, that's what his game is. You're gonna get the good and the bad. There's gonna be some times when he's not hot. He's missing, but there's gonna be times like tonight where he's firing.
Absolutely, definitely. Always keeping track.
Discovery, it's a 3-point game right now. They're down. Of course, they've been up all game, but now they're down by 3. They just want to weather this storm, get back in it and do what they do.
Definitely. And trying to figure out when they're going to put it together. At some point in time, they have to. They have figured out a way to extend this 3-2 zone, but they got to figure out what happens next. There's Barry. Quick crossover move. Goes to the basket. Still just hard off the rim. They're not making shots. The last minute or so, they're getting to the basket. They're just not making it.
Those were the shots they were making in the first half, and they're not. Mandarin's also scoring, and it's not allowing to get them out on the fast break like they were in the first half.
Definitely. That's what's going on in this third quarter. All right, ball trying to come in bounds. Goes into Barry again. Looks for Vega in the corner. He's wide open. Does not take the 3, and he just made 2 of them.
I know. He's been hot. You got to shoot that, in my opinion.
All right, guys. Goes up. Gets to push it. Herring has the rebound. Enzo Lee all by himself with the left-hand layup. Count it. 4-2.
It's Discovery versus Enzo Lee right now.
I can guarantee you Vega is not happy that he didn't take that 3 last time.
Right.
All right, Jacoby goes to the basket with a finger roll and gets the roll. Counted for 2. Looks to go to the free throw line to finish off the 3-point play. 3 the hard way.
Yeah, you look at the score right now, 44-41. But you feel like Mandarin's got a much bigger lead right now just because how dominant they've been in this quarter.
Right, and I guarantee you Discovery can turn that around at any point in time if they're able to get some misses from Mandarin and get into their fast break.
Right, that's the difference right now. That's what they're not getting the third quarter.
So they've already solved one problem. They have somewhat pulled Mandarin out of that 3-2 zone just sitting back there. All right, Jacoby finished up 3-point play. 2-point lead for Mandarin.
1:20 left in the quarter.
All All right, Kyrie Williams has his assignment, and he's serious about it.
Like he's done a good job, but like you said, Enzo has been getting some buckets on fast break transition.
Definitely. Mandarin moves the ball around. Howard, no good for three, but here's that guy. White's on the rebound, no good on the finish. Enzo Lee off balance and still makes the three. He's a player. Left Vega alone again, and he misses his three, but offensive rebound, Barry. Kobe clears it out. Looks at the three, but doesn't take it. Barry takes it instead and counted. We got a shootout here.
You know, they're not getting what they want, so they have to shoot the three.
And lucky for them, they're making a few of them. All right, they go to a run and jump situation. Ball is inside to Whites for the finish.
Yeah, somebody else from Mandarin is going to have to score. From
Vega
time
looks
to
at
time
Barry
there.
for three-point shot. Nothing there. Whites with possibly 20 rebounds.
He's going to find a way to shoot this.
Enzo Lee running fast break. He pulls up front of the rim. I tell you what, I like his court awareness. He knew exactly where the clock was when he got the ball.
All right, here we are, 49-45. Mandarin has a big third quarter to take the lead. Going into fourth with a lot of momentum.
I tell you what, I really felt like Discovery weathered the storm on that one right there, and they're pretty much in striking position.
Yeah, you know, the crazy thing is, like I said, you feel like they're down by a ton because of that quarter that Mandarin had. Still only a 4-point game. Discovery's right here. Things can change quick.
Definitely. I think some three-pointers, and we talk about Enzo Lee's threes, but Discovery hit 3 threes right there at the end and kind of get them right back into it. And like I said, I think they've started to get what they want, and they were taking some of the same shots that they made earlier in the game and they started missing. So what happens if those start falling in the fourth quarter? This could be definitely a barn burner.
Right. I don't remember in the third quarter right there, Discovery getting any transition buckets.
Nothing I could think of.
Yeah.
Vega tried to push it, but he kept turning the ball over.
Yeah, so they've been having to set up half court against that zone. Luckily, knocked down some threes, which they're not used to doing. Mandarin has them very uncomfortable right now. Enzo Lee is on fire. Let's see what happens in the fourth.
But let's talk about Kyrie Williams. I thought that last 45 seconds to a minute, Kyrie, when he was on Enzo, really made it difficult for him.
Yeah, the kid does a heck of a job defensively.
I tell you what, Coach from Discovery might not even take him out the fourth quarter.
Right.
He may stay in there the whole time. Your assignment is Enzo Lee. So that was 2 adjustments that Discovery made. They made some threes, which pulled Mandarin out of that 3-2 zone, as well as they put the defender on Enzo, which slowed him down. So we can see what happens in the fourth quarter.
Discovery gets the ball here to start the fourth. Need a good possession right now to get it rolling.
That would be the best case scenario for the Discovery coach. Get 2 or 3 points here. He still decided to stay small, too. Nothing but a guard kind of lineup out there.
Yeah, and I thought the big fella from Discovery caused some problems in the paint.
I agree. Vega inside, goes to the baseline. Ball's kicked back out to Ford. Ford pulls up, nothing doing. Rebound. Jerron Michael.
And Enzo's just getting out on the break. You know, he's
Stole it quickly by Vega. Gets up to Barry, goes to finish with a layup. This is what we're talking about. Got right into the game that they're wanting to do. But that was a constant situation about what's going to happen this fourth quarter. Everybody in a red jersey knew where zero was for Mandarin.
Yeah, and now Discovery's coming up and pressing, doing a little half-court press, trying to cause some problems.
All right, McHale takes up, pulls it for 2.
Probably not a shot Coach McLeod drew up.
Definitely.
You know, Discovery's coming out in that half-court press. Yeah, that's gonna leave some holes for Enzo to get some shots up.
All right, Barry looks to go downhill. Gets fouled quickly by number 2, Herring. Barry grabs his ankle. May have twisted a little bit.
Referee gave the Discovery coach some grace right now that went to check on his player. If you do that, the kid's got to come out of the game.
That is the rule, yes.
So the ref had a quick chat there with the coach who jumped back.
Yeah, but Barry jumped on up and just kind of walked it on off. Gets to the free throw line. He makes the first one. Pulls within 3 points.
He's walking a little gingerly on that ankle. That's going to be he's got to finish this.
Yes, he does. Gonna be sore tomorrow. He gets the roll.
Shooter's touch.
Shooter's touch. 2 free throws. Down 2-point now. Once again into that press, and he turns it over again. Enzo Lee. Jacoby finishes for 2. Now we have a tie ball game here. A good adjustment by Discovery coach. Ball's in quick to White. Great pass by Jaron McHale.
That was a great pass. That was a bullet.
What if he plays quarterback? Jacoby lines up a long 3. And you know what? Momentum means a whole lot of stuff. Knocks down the long 3.
Discovery up 1 now. So half-court pressure that's caused 2 turnovers.
Yep. All right, we go baseline. Howard looks to go to the basket. Almost stolen. Gets it back inside. A little flip up. And he misses the layup. Ball kicked up quickly.
And this is what they do.
Right, Jacoby up top. No call by the referee. Looked like the Mandarin guy kind of dragged Jacoby's feet with him out of bounds.
Yeah.
That's all right. Discovery ball out of bounds. 30 seconds on the shot clock. Up 1 point.
Little change of momentum there with that press. Half-court pressure.
Blocked again by White, but there's that guy, Kyrie Williams, with a quick steal.
Kyrie Williams is a tough
Kyrie Williams
kid.
goes baseline with the flip and gets the roll once again. Foundational guy gets 2. Give Discovery a 3-point lead.
Still in the half-court pressure right here. Trapping the first pass. Mandarin has gotten in trouble a couple times that way.
Right.
But it's leaving people open.
All right, White lines up the 3, which is not his game.
What they've missed right here, Mandarin, is they get that trap or that pass on. They're not looking opposite because you got Enzo standing here by himself who's been on fire.
But it's also like they're waiting for the trap to get to them,
Yes.
you know, and all good coaches always say, get rid of the ball before a trap
Yes.
comes. And that coach takes him out to kind of talk to him and give him a quick blow.
Discovery's up 3 here with 5:30 left in the fourth.
All right, and Mandarin's been pulled out of that 3-2 sagging zone now, so it's giving Discovery a little bit more freedom.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
skip pass over to Barry, and he lines up a 3. No good. Hits the top of the rim, out of bounds.
They almost threw that to the third row right there.
I was surprised he got up there and got that one. All right, Howard comes out. Number 23, Ling from Mandarin.
See if they handle this half-court pressure now.
If they don't,
No.
quite sure McLeod's going to call a timeout. And stolen, Kyrie Williams, and he's going to be fouled.
Yeah, he was fouled for
The whole time.
the entire time he took the ball from him.
All right, Herring with the foul from Mandarin. And Kyrie Williams goes to shoot 2.
The legend, Coach Wells, in the
You
house
see him,
right
Coach. Oh, Bethune-Cookman University Wildcat there.
here. Legend. Saw Dale Green in the house earlier.
Yes. This tournament here draws all the history. Kyrie Williams bounces one off the rim, no good.
You got to love this kid because he missed that. He turned and apologized to his coach. You know?
Let's see if he makes up for it.
He just wants to play. Short.
All right, short in front of the rim. Still nursing a 3-point lead. Like I told you, timeout, Mandarin. Coach McLeod wants to talk about what's going on with his team to kind of deal with this 1-2-2 half-court press.
Yeah, it's giving them a lot of problems right here. Giving Discovery the lead back. And there's, I mean, from up here, obviously we see the holes. They're, you know, just like you called it, they're waiting for that trap instead of catch, pass, pass, pass. Don't let the ball touch the ground. You're going to get open shots.
They said to make it short. It says, hey, the way you beat a press is through the pass.
Exactly right, and they're not doing it. They're literally catching it in that dead man's corner and holding it.
And what's worse is they have a finisher down there. I mean, when you talk about Enzo Lee for shooting and then White at the basket, I mean, they got 2 finishers. They got to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, Enzo had a massive third quarter, and
It's been scoreless since.
scoreless since. Yeah, you got to give credit to Discovery for recognizing, changing things up, and trying to get a different momentum to go their way.
That's it. 2 things. Kyrie Williams being man-to-man on Enzo right there in his jersey the whole time, as well as going to the 1-2-2 trap, which is causing Mandarin a lot of problems.
Yeah. Here we go.
Go ahead.
No, here we go. 4:58 left. in the game with Mandarin down 3.
And like we talked about at the end of the third quarter, it just didn't feel like Discovery was out of the game yet. You know, like they were right there and just a couple little things here or there to happen. And this is what took place.
Yeah, you know, they weren't playing good. They were in disarray, but they were still in the game. So you knew if they could get things together.
Try to get back to their game, that downhill basketball. And I think the 3, believe it or not, saved them more so than anything else.
Yeah, you know what I like what Discovery did, and I like to do as a coach myself.
Yeah.
You come out of the timeout after Coach McLeod figures out what to do against that press, and they come out man-to-man.
Exactly what I would do, too. Do something different.
Right.
And then go back to it later on.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
All right, stolen again by Vega. Quick hands. Looks to go finish, and once again, Herring runs down the floor to foul. Quick sub off the bench. Jerron McHale comes back.
Free throws are going to be important here because from this point forward, Discovery's shooting 2 shots on every foul. Mandarin, Discovery has 0 fouls in the quarter.
Yes.
You got to make them, though.
That's it. And right now, they're 0 for 3 for the last few attempts. All right, Herring goes to the bench with 4 fouls, replaced by Jerron Michael. Also, Ramsey's back in the game. Once again, missed free throws.
And there's our guy.
That's it. Discovery gets the ball back. All right, Vega goes to the basket a little bit. Hey,
Wow.
a little Euro step for 2.
Big offensive rebound there on the free throw.
Yep, causing problems by Kyrie Williams again. All right, Enzo Lee looks to kind of get in there, and he does.
That was too easy.
For 2. But they probably were expecting him to shoot. So he said, no, we go to the basket. All right, Vega once again. Woo, for the 3. Right now, he's my vote for player of the game.
Yeah. If they come out on top, I think he's got to be the vote.
All right, Enzo Lee once again tries to get to the basketball, but Discovery is ready and waiting for him. Everybody with a red jersey knows where 0 is.
Yeah.
All right, Ramsey lines up a 3, and it's good. Tell you what, he shot that with confidence, so I felt good when it left his hands.
You know, he made one in the first half, too. I think he's 2 for 2, but they let him have it.
They let you have it, you take it. All right, we got a kind of a man-to-man situation up here at top. Goes to Barry, looks to go baseline. No call, quick pass into Ford with the roll.
They're back doing what they do
Stolen by Barry on out of bounds. Just that quick. And he got a quick foul. Step through by Barry, Mandarin on the foul.
The Discovery guards play so low to the floor. You
Yes,
know,
they
they're
do.
dribbling an inch off the floor.
All right, Mikael Ford with the foul on that one situation there. That takes Mandarin to 5
Yeah,
fouls.
Discovery's in the bonus from here on out.
Even more bad news for Coach McLeod from Mandarin. I tell you what, Discovery has really just turned on sheer tenacity in the last 5-6 minutes of this game.
Yeah. They for the third quarter, they got totally out of their game. They were out of whack. Now they're doing what they do best.
All right, got the first one to go.
Pushing it out to a 6-point lead here with 2:57 on the clock.
Right, Terrell Berry seemed to have shaken off the little ankle tweak he had. Made the first free throw. Looking to shoot the second one.
Coach McLeod subs out
Count it, gets the roll.
their 3-point shooter right there.
Hey, he subs out Ramsey, it's true.
They're trying not to let Enzo touch the ball right here.
They are right in his jersey the whole time.
And you know what? Discovery has fouls to give, so I would play rough.
Double team in the corner. Ball goes to
They
White.
turn their back on him though.
And he gets to the basket. Scores 2. A scorer gonna score. Like you said, he turned his back on him and he made him pay. All right, 5-point lead, Mandarin. Kicked out to Barry for a 3-point shot. Right into it. Now, I tell you what, Barry did something right there that I'd love to see. He didn't let the ball dictate him. He just went to it, stepped with it, and took the shot there. right, ball kick up to the corner. Mike Hale for 3. All right, Mandarin has found it again.
Yeah, it's back and forth.
Down 5. All right, ball goes to free throw line for Ford. Goes in the draw. Great move by Williams. Missed the layup.
What a move. I know he wants that one back.
All right, Howard looks to go coast to coast. Cups the ball and misses the layup. All right, ball push. Barry in the corner. What is he going to do? Downhill, and he lost it.
He can't roll around.
Ball on the ground. Gathered by Mandarin. Kicked over to Howard. Gets it Enzo Lee. And he lines it up, but he was off from that one there. And we have a foul on Jacoby Torrance.
Ooh.
But it doesn't hurt them. That's their first foul of the fourth quarter. All right, Mandarin ball underneath.
5-point game, minute 26. We're getting down here to win. We're going to get no shot clock, and Discovery will get the ball. Mandarin only has 1 foul, so we can, they got to. Discovery only has 1 foul.
That's it.
They can play physical like that.
All right, Howard goes to do a step through and gets fouled by Kyrie Williams.
I'm a Discovery coach. I'm telling my kids, hey, we got plenty of fouls. There's no reason not to get up in somebody.
Well, they definitely are by Enzo because he cannot see any daylight. All right, ball goes up top. And then stripped from behind by Vega.
They got to finish this.
Jacoby Torrance goes hard to the basket with the layup. All right, Mandarin calls timeout. Once again, fourth quarter has really been about Discovery being able to get back to what they do best.
Right.
Downhill basketball.
Exactly right. Mandarin has, they weathered the storm, right? Discovery weathered the storm. Enzo's still scoring. He's still doing his thing, but they're not letting Weiss get the second shots. They're not letting somebody else beat you.
Yeah, you always talk about weapons. How many weapons does your team have? And right now we're looking at Mandarin, and I see, a weapon and a half. You got Enzo, who's definitely a scorer, and then you're trying to figure out who's that other person.
Right.
Well, when you go down to the other side with Discovery, you start talking about Torrance. You're talking about Barry. You're talking about Vega. You're talking about Ford. You got multiple guys who's getting it done. And then Williams, what he's doing. And he would have more points. He missed a couple layups, missed free throws, but he's getting those opportunities.
Yeah, and he's making impacts in other ways. Even though he's missing those points, you're still getting positive out of him because he's getting those hustle plays.
And that's what we say, hustle plays. I was just about to say, what happens with him, he allows the players to play because he doesn't demand the ball.
He doesn't. That's the kind of kid as a coach you just love to have on your team. No issues. The kid missed 2 free throws and he apologized.
Right.
you got to love it.
That's it. At the end of the game, you just kind of hug him in his neck. Say, hey, good game.
So here we go. We got a minute 10 left. 7-point game. Discovery's up.
And they go full court pressure. No, they changed their mind. Okay.
See if Enzo can find a way to get a shot off here. He's found a way to get it off all night.
They got Kyrie Williams. He's covering one of the bigs now. He's on Howard.
He does it all.
Now, the discussion is about where the ball should be taken out of bounds. The ball had not made it past the free throw line when Coach McLeod called timeout. So I don't disagree with this call at all. All right, they're picking up three-quarter court. And it's just a simple man-to-man. And Jacoby Torrance is covering Enzo. All right, Mikhail pulls up, nothing. And guess who gets that rebound?
Yeah, I'm not sure that's what they drew up.
All right, Jacoby Torrance to the basket, just throws up something. But guess what? His teammate there is to clear it up. Downing.
43 Mandarin's running out of time right here to make something happen.
All right, Howard lines up 3, no good. I tell you what, if you wasn't watching just then, there were 3 red jerseys around Enzo Lee.
Yeah. Make somebody else beat you, right?
Make somebody else.
Shot clock is off.
And that's,
Discovery's just going to run it out right here. It doesn't look like Coach McLeod's going to foul.
yep.
10-point game.
Yep, I think Coach has said he's going to concede on this one. Discovery pulls the championship. 6 seconds. 5, 3, 2, ball game.
That is it.
All right, Discovery got a chance to get in the fourth quarter, get back to what they do best, downhill basketball, and they were aided by the three-point shot.
They did. That was a heck of a effort by Enzo Lee to pull Mandarin back in the game in that third quarter. But Discovery got back to their game and did what they do best.
Listen, sometimes you don't get an opportunity to really kind of congratulate and say, hey, great job, coach. But I thought Discovery's coach did some very good things as far as making the adjustment. That half-court trap he went to really bothered Mandarin also.
Yeah. We're going to get down here and get some interviews with some of the members of this last game. Here we are here with the runner-up Mandarin Mustangs here. We'll get in and have a conversation with Coach McLeod here as soon as this presentation is done.
We also have the all tournament team members, number 0, Enzo Lee, and number 15, Tiana Weiss.
Coach McLeod, can I talk to you for a quick second here, sir? Hey, if you can talk, I know it's been a long night, long tournament here now. You guys gave a valiant effort. I saw them play the other night. Tough team, get downhill. It seems like an easy scouting report, but it's not. They're just tough and they keep going at you. Great comeback in the third quarter there. Tell me what you think about the game.
Well, I think it was a good game. We still are finding our way. Just getting football players back a week ago, we have things we got to figure out. And obviously at the beginning of the game, our best defender has to go out. But what I like is that the group stayed together and they fought through as a team. So I got to be proud of that.
Yeah, they came back. Adversity. Enzo caught fire in the third quarter. I know you get a guy like Enzo, you're going to have to take the good with the bad, because sometimes, he's not on, or, there might be a bad shot, but also he's a heck of a scorer. You got to kind of roll with that, right?
You do. You got to let Kobe be Kobe. He can light it up. There are times he's going to be off, but we're encouraging him to keep being who he is, When he's on fire, we always got a chance to win. So we let him be who he is today, and, he gave us a chance.
Well, I appreciate you, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way. Thank you, man.
The green division is Terrell Perry. Congratulations, Discovery.
Here we are here with the winning coach from Discovery. What a game. My son plays at Nice, so I was here the other night watching the game, and I thought you do a spectacular job. You have an identity, and you go with that identity. You attack the basket. You attack. You're relentless. Your players are play hard for you constantly. Tell me a little bit about this game from the beginning to how you weathered that third quarter, onslaught by Enzo. He found the basket so much, but you guys weathered the storm and finished.
The biggest thing is family, man. Every pain coming a bigger blessing. That loss that we had the first night of the tournament, that helped us out big time. But overall, keep being together, get together. But defense wins championships and the little things. So we capitalize on little things. Hey, talk to each other, be the family. We might eat last night, just trying to stay together, lock in. But biggest thing is just staying focused. Focus and family. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. One thing that I really like about your team, with this age, it's hard to get kids that focus on the next play. Sometimes you get down, you struggle, and the kids kind of fold. But you, as a coach, I think do a great job and they mirror your attitude. Never get too high, never get too low, keep playing.
My motto is it's okay. Anything in life, it's okay. The classroom is okay. Real world skills, okay. Struggles is okay. Anything that you go through, it's okay. You miss a layup, it's okay. You got to get back. The ref calls some tough fouls, it's okay. You got to get back.
Right.
So the boys, the mindset, the motto, it's okay. So whatever it is, in basketball and real world, it's okay. And that's what we did. So we get a stop, we turn the ball over, we miss a free throw, we miss something, get back, it's okay.
Right. So. Great message. I love it. I love it. Tell me about this guy right here real quick.
Oh, special player, special player. He's just all around great kid, all around kid. And as you can see, his skills are better. It's really good.
Yeah, great tournament. You know, I saw you play the other night against Nice. That didn't finish how you wanted to.
Yes, sir.
But like Coach said, it's okay. You guys battled. You did your thing.
Yes, sir.
You learned. You move on. Tell me about this team. Tell me about your coach and how you feel about this tournament as a whole.
Oh yeah, I love my teammates. They funny guys. When we get on the court, it's business though. And you said, tell them about what?
Tell me about Coach and his mentality.
Oh, Coach.
And how you guys feed off of that.
Every day at practice, he tells us defense, and stay focused. So
Right.
Yeah.
Well, great win today. You guys battled through some adversity, came out on top. Tell me what you're looking forward to for the rest of the season.
I'm looking forward to winning states this year and having a winning record.
Love it. Love it.
Congratulate Terrell Berry, 1,000-point score tonight.
Oh, look at this. Congratulations. Happy for you. Proud of you, man. Enjoy that. Not a lot of kids get to do that. So that's a special time for you. Congratulations, my man. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you. Thank you, boss.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.
All right, Coach Chandler, thank you first of all for letting us be here and stream these games for you. One of the best tournaments around. So I just real quick just want to talk about that. And year in and year out, competition is here. Tell me what your thought process is about bringing teams in and how you feel about the tournament as a whole.
The first thing we think about, man, is really strength points. All teams are always looking for games where they can get good competitive games and boost their strength of schedule. So we always look for teams who are looking for that in particular. But it's been a great event, I think 9 years running. So, we're fortunate to get some very, very good teams.
Yeah, some great teams, some great competition, great games. I've been here pretty much all weekend, and as a basketball fan, have loved it. Now, you got Gainesville tonight here in 4 minutes, so I'll let you go. But I know you got a chance to watch them yesterday. Shot it well, slow game to start. Tell me what your expectation is. What have you told your kids about getting ready for Gainesville?
Well, one, Coach Barnes does a great job with that program. Traditionally, Gainesville is always good, a playoff team. They're going to be very, very well coached, fundamentally sound, and they're going to stick to the game plan. So we got to be prepared to just kind of match that, execute, and play really hard on defense to defend those guys. They got a few shooters who can knock down the shots.
Awesome, Coach. Thanks for having us here. Thank you. Great tournament. Good luck. Appreciate you. Thanks, Coach.
First Baptist Church of Orange Park was founded in 1921. Suffice to say, much has changed in Orange Park, Clay County, and the world since then. Though much has changed in the world, our mission remains the same. We are a church intent on fulfilling that mission and are strategically engaged in our community through partnerships with local schools, sports teams, veterans organizations, and more. We are a family equipping church. We invite you to check us out at firstfam.org or join us in person at 1140 Kingsley Avenue, Orange Park, Florida.